Walking as a whistle, somewhere in the middle. Letting things be simple, let it go, let it go. Hand me a bottle, more than I can handle.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be organizing my fridge and my pantry. I feel like these spaces can get a bit chaotic for some reason, and then I end up buying things that I don't need, or I end up not buying what I do need, and food goes to waste. And I cannot stand when food goes to waste. It just makes me feel so guilty. And yeah, so today we're focusing on these spaces, making them look nice, making things a little more efficient, and hopefully inspiring you guys to organize your spaces. So if you guys like videos like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here, I'm Brianna. I make new videos every week. Lifestyle videos, cleaning videos, organizational videos, clothing hauls. It's all over the place. So if you like it, please stick around, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And with all of that said, let's get into the video. So having the right storage containers and baskets can really help you elevate a space. So I was able to get a bunch of new things at Target to mix in with the items that I have already had from Amazon. And I will make sure to link what I can down below so it's easily accessible for you guys to find. I do suggest having a visual or a plan in place before you go shopping for storage items, because I don't want you to end up buying things that you don't need. So really take a look at your food and the things you want to store to know what sizes you should get and how many you should get. I just kind of put a visual together in my mind and put a list together of what I truly felt like our pantry and our fridge needed. The doors of our fridge I felt didn't need extra storage bins or containers because they're already good clear shelves. So I just went ahead and started there before I moved on to the main compartment of the fridge. Before starting on this project, our fridge doors were kind of just a mishmash. There was really no organization. So I wanted to make sure everything kind of made sense, which is why you'll see my butters and cream cheeses all on one shelf. And then I kind of put our condiments and somewhat random condiments all on this shelf. And then the top shelf, I really wanted to focus on dressings and kind of like marinades, steak sauces, that type of thing. But you do what makes sense. On this side of the fridge, there are only 2 shelves in the store, so I'm just putting some random drinks down on the bottom and coffee creamer and my milk on the top. And then we'll move on to the main compartment of the fridge. So this main drawer is the biggest, and I wanted to just focus on deli meats, cheeses, and eggs in this drawer. And I wanted everything to be laid out really nicely so when you open it, you don't have to dig through it. The egg storage container actually ended up being a great little divider between the meats and cheeses. Now for these drawers, I didn't need any storage containers or anything like that. I'm just laying our lettuce in this one, and then I'm putting meat in this drawer. So this will be meat that I plan on using for dinners and things like that in the next couple days. Now these clear bins are perfect for little snacks for Jackson. I like these because they are clear and he's able to see what's in them and tell me what he wants. So I'm adding yogurt, string cheese, juices, fruit cups, that type of thing. And eventually when he's older, it'll be a perfect little setup for him to grab and go when he can reach that part of the fridge. I highly suggest clear storage, not just for your kids to see what's in the fridge, but also for you to see. I feel like when food is just kind of messy and disorganized, you don't see what you have, and then things end up going to waste. Now for these little soda dispensers, I'm adding LaCroix and Coca-Cola, which became my obsession during my pregnancy with Quinn, and I still have one like once a week. It's like a little habit I can't kick.
But I feel like these drinks are mostly for people who are over at the house, or if we have like my mom or someone babysitting, I like to have drinks on hand for them. And then next to that, I'm just adding all of our milk. So in this bigger clear plastic bin, I'm just adding some random vegetables and avocados. These are the types of produce that I'm not going to chop up and prep. Now these glass containers are perfect for fruits and vegetables that I want to be easily accessible, washed, chopped up, and ready to go. I feel like I'm more apt to reach for these healthier items when they are already prepped and ready to go for me, and it's also a lot easier to put together Jackson's breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. The top shelf is kind of just for what's left over, so I'm adding in my yogurts and also any leftovers that we have. I try not to buy a ton of food anymore. I really try to plan out our meals so nothing goes to waste. And this is how the fridge turned out, and I'm so obsessed with it. I get so excited to cook and come in here every day just because everything has its own place, and I love organization. Moving on to the pantry, I love these little baskets from Target. I have them all over the house, honestly, in the kids' rooms, in the pantry, in my bathroom. They're just super, super convenient, and they have a bunch of different sizes. So this particular size was perfect for Jackson's snacks, along with a couple of snacks of my own. I didn't do all clear bins in the pantry because I feel like they're more necessary for the fridge, just being able to see everything and again not letting anything go to waste. And these are also less expensive. Now, speaking of less expensive, I wanted to get some airtight containers, but I thought the OXO prices were just too much, so I found a cheaper option at Target, and I decided to store Jackson's kind of loose snacks in here. So goldfish and crackers, he'll easily be able to see them, and they'll stay nice and fresh in these containers. I'm putting his snacks on a lower shelf in the pantry so they are easily accessible for him, and he can just go in there and grab what he wants when it is snack time. I love these bigger baskets that Target has because they can store so much stuff. I decided to put all of our like foil and saran wrap and Ziploc bags in one big basket so I could just pull it out when I need it. And I'm putting these things on one of the lower shelves in the pantry because I don't reach for it as much, just like we don't reach for this huge thing of paper plates as much. I'm also using these bigger baskets to store the dog's treats and also people treats as well. All of our candies going into this bigger basket. These two baskets I'm storing up on a higher shelf in the pantry just because we don't reach for these things as often as other things in the pantry. And next to that, I'm just adding in my supplements. Now on a lower shelf of the pantry, I'm just adding in some extra items, so like our bulk items that don't have a place in the fridge, and I can just come in here and replenish as needed. So our extra drinks, extra snack packs, extra crackers, basically like Costco size items go down on the bottom until we need to replenish. I'm also adding potatoes and onions to one of these clear big bins. I hear you're not supposed to store them together post filming, but I'm also going to add that to that bottom shelf. On the middle shelf is where I'm going to store all of the things that I typically reach for dinner time. So pasta sauces, pasta, rice, chicken broth, beans, canned goods, you get the idea. You'll see as I start stocking up this shelf, but this is basically where I go every night when I am putting together dinner. You'll see I don't have a can rack or a can shelf, which I know can be really useful, but I feel like we just don't have a ton of canned items where I would need one of those. And I also like to be organized in my rows, so like beans are in a row, meats are in a row, tomato sauce type things are in a row, and then next to that I'm just adding our salad goodies. Now on the shelf above that, which is at more eye level, I'm adding the things that we use every day. So all of the carbs, the breads, the tortillas, the chips for Matt's lunches. And on the opposite side of that shelf is where I'm putting the breakfast stuff. So one side is kind of like lunch stuff and one side is kind of like breakfast stuff. I really want to get like those airtight cereal containers, but for now, budget-wise, using cereal boxes is just fine with some chip clips to keep the bags closed. And to kind of go along with the breakfast theme in this basket, I'm just adding all of our coffee and coffee accessories, things like that, and that will go in the corner part of our pantry shelf. So this is a medium, more shallow sized bin. Again, Target has so many different shapes and sizes for these baskets or bins, whatever you want to call them, which I love. So I'm using these for all of my baking items. I have a lot. If you don't know, sometimes I do cookie orders for clients, and in general I just like baking. So I have a ton of different things and I like to organize them by how I need them. As I mentioned before, with these organization videos, they're just meant to inspire you. You don't have to do it exactly like somebody else. Just try to organize in a way that makes sense to you. I had 2 more of those airtight containers, so I wanted to store our sugars in them, our white sugar, and more importantly our brown sugar, because if you guys don't know, that stuff hardens really easily. And I'm putting these items on a higher shelf just because I don't reach for them as often, but I'll be able to pull them down when I need them and everything will be according to bin. So that is our finished pantry, and I get so happy walking in there. I think I get happier than most people with organization and things like that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the next one.